Well, I say I go into this collective and we just roll right into this. I think people really want to know what's going on with their love stories right now. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody for being here and joining us. So, I'm going to run through the astrology real quick and then, of course, do a collective reading with the cards. And then we're going to go into your sun signs where I don't go through the astrology and I just pull the cards. This is a weird time and a very weird week. We are seeing massive changes this week that are very weird. One, all the planets are direct. Let's remember that. That does not come a lot. There's no retrograde planets, not even Chiron's retrograde. So a lot of energy is moving forward, and it's weird because it's moving forward in a very uncertain place. Mars is meeting with Uranus here at the beginning of the week, and as it's making its square to Saturn, making its square to Jupiter, and Mars and Uranus don't like to be in Taurus. They're both, not happy there. So, Mars is slow in Taurus, and it's this feeling of a little bit of this, in the mud, while at the same time wanting to have all the pieces understood at the same time. And it could create massive frustration. Mars squares Saturn, Uranus squares Saturn, that's approaching. Jupiter, that's just finished a square to Uranus. Our belief systems are all over the place. So when it comes to love right now, I'm going to be honest, it is a very interesting, I was going to say puppet show, and making sure that the lines of the puppets don't get caught in between and then create entanglement. So this is a very entangled time. This is a very weird time. Of course, belief systems are hyper intense. South node's still in Sag. North node is in Gemini, and they're making their squares exactly to Neptune this week. So we are in the deep fog. We are in the deep unknown. And so when it comes to love and stuff, we got to be compassionate. We have to also go with the flow, and that might not be easy too, right? It brings up a lot of weird situations. We're dealing with Venus and Capricorn, and it will make a sextile to Neptune this week, which I think can bring some positivity here, but it still brings up a sensitivity, and it does bring up having to ease off on understanding the direction too, which that's hard. I think in relationships we want to always try to be so certain on where things are at, understand where things are going, but with these energies right now, there is zero certainty on anything right now. Anything can happen out of nowhere. Anything can change out of nowhere. And these are very, tough times dealing with having to stand your ground of your values and not try and give away your values while at the same time, okay, well, there's a world out there, Aquarius, Jupiter and Uranus, right? And we got Mercury too. And a lot of that is trying to be figured out. We got these big semi-squares to Neptune. Well, the nodes are squaring Neptune. So this is just bringing up extreme deception. So there could be deception in relationships, of just the deception to yourself of what you thought, to the deception of what something looked like, to, just feeling like, you're at a loss. It can make our soul energy really feel stripped right now. Not just stripped by acetone, but just completely stripped by acetone, paint thinner, crazy acid that killed Terminator, the T-1000. Yeah, we're all being dipped in that. And I think that it's difficult in love to navigate as individually. We realize that a lot of this is about individuality, and having to look at our individuality and our values of our individuality and how that fits with the world that we all want to do. And that crosses some really weird crosshairs with Mars and Uranus about our independent self and having to fit with the collective and our values having to meet. And these are clashes, and these are hard clashes. This is definitely not easy astrology here. This is definitely, weird times as we're just moving into Aquarius itself, and the Sun and Saturn are meeting this week. And let me just tell you on that one, whenever the Sun is moving in to meet with Saturn, it's not fun. I'm not going to be honest. It's the one time a year, the 1 week a year where it's the energy just goes to crushing and very low vibe and very hard to maintain, but it can build great things. So the positive of Sun and Saturn is you can be, try and be very focused. But how are you going to be very focused when all these energies are all over the place? And with Uranus energy and Aquarius energy just in very difficult aspects, usually the energy of Sun and Saturn brings, okay, I'm going to stop, I'm going to reflect, I'm going to take things step by step and I'll get through. But, this is like walking through spiritual, crazy value system, belief system, and world-changing dynamic and unpredictability landmines. So I admire anybody out there when it comes to love. if they find the way through this week, I admire you, because this is definitely not going to be easy. This is definitely going to be rough, and it's definitely going to have its, bad hair days, or it's going to feel like, sandpaper to your face. I mean, it's not easy. And, in many ways, it's telling us to go against the grain too. When it comes to love, it's telling us to follow where our true gut is telling us to go. And that's where the pressure spot's at, and to not get lost in these beliefs or these journeys that we think that we can go down, that we already know the answers of the truth towards, and bullshit ourselves. So remember now that Jupiter, Saturn already in Aquarius, and Mercury, which goes retrograde next week, by the end of next week. So even though all the planets are direct, it's not for long. So it's like, then we feel okay, we got to figure things out. And we do, but it's complicated. And at the same time, the sun now enters Aquarius. And guess what? Now the sun's a detriment. And so you have a detrimental sun squaring a exalted moon in Taurus with Mars and Uranus conjunct. This is rough. And this is where we could feel very low, a sun detriment. But that means the sun, Jupiter, Saturn, the three biggest energies are all in the same spot. So the sun also is going to meet with Saturn. It didn't meet with Saturn in Aquarius in 2020. So you have to remember that this is getting very weird, extremely weird, to be honest with you. It's getting very weird in the sense that we are going to see what this whole entire Sun-Saturn thing is all about. And in Aquarius with Jupiter there, like, what is this new story of this new world, and what is this all going to look like? And it's got so many unpredictable variables, and what you expect is not going to come true, and everything that you weren't thinking about will show up. So love like surety, because it's Leo, and guess what? This is all the opposite of Leo. This is all the energy of Taurus squaring Leo. And if we just talk about romance or love in general, yeah, it's difficult. But I think, relationships, that's a little bit easier, but at the same time, I mean, you could be in a relationship with somebody and have no love. You can be in a relationship with somebody and, I don't know, have good things, but it doesn't mean that, maybe you might feel the romance, or you might feel the exact way that you want things to feel, and that might be difficult. So this is going to be us really on our individual front, in the collective, having to go, am I going to continue to do things in my true energy of myself, or am I going to give away parts of myself? Where's that idea of compromise come from in many ways? With these big squares to Neptune, I think compassion is one thing, but also compassion doesn't mean that you give away your soul. This is going to be a testy time. Let's see what the cards have to say for the collective this week when it comes to love. First card that we get here is the King of Swords reversed. Ooh, okay. Our challenge card we got is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. That's a big challenge. We got the King of Wands reversed. Wow, as the overall. So we got some big cards here to start things off with. G-Mini Christmas. And then our way that we get through the challenge is the Judgment card. G-Mini. Wow, we got two major arcanas here. We got two kings in reversed. This is going to be a wild week. Let's just take a little quick review of this to start things off. We got that King of Swords coming up. This definitely makes us feel like we have no idea where we're going at all. And the King of Swords always is very cold. It feels like it's got everything under control in the mind. It's figured it out. And so in love right now, communication-wise, understanding where it's going, just completely lost and feeling stupid too. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know where I'm going, right? It's like energetically like, fuck, I don't know where this thing is. I was so sure. And anybody that feels very sure is a dumbass at this point. I'm just going to tell you that one. And if they're acting that way, then it's coming out of straight ego. Now we got this challenge card is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So this is our challenge of not allowing the fortune to come in. We're trying to control things, or we're trying to hold off on things, or we're trying to continue to just feel like we have some sort of control. And that's not going to work already when we're coming from a place where our head's not seeing straight and our mind is not seeing straight. That's not a good thing. When you're I'm in control, but you're not in the best energy, like in your head. Oh yeah, like that feels good. We got the King of Wands as our overall. in reversed. So this makes us feel stupid in love. This makes us feel like, am I really doing this? Am I really going through this? Am I really going to, oh man, did I make the stupid choice here? We're going to get deeper into these cards. But the way we get through the challenge of this control thing and not allowing the fortune to come in or letting this kind of energy really fall about us is judgment. You know, I think that we have to make a better judgment call. Like, I think that it's like, what are we holding off on? Or maybe we're holding off on things because we feel like it's not divine and a highest good. I mean, you know, Barbie can end up in jail too, right? Like, you know, in this deck, but it's like, I feel like there's this energy of us having to really go like, what's the higher calling? That the only fortune in life is the higher calling, an energy that sees things on the same higher calling. Now, the reason that we got that King of Swords reverse and why we're feeling so uncertain, and especially direction wise, we got the Emperor reversed. Wow. I mean, this is us, you know, feeling like we're overpowering situations and they're not working out to be our way. So anything that we're trying to overpower or we're trying too hard, it's going to feel like, gosh, the answers are still not coming. The answers are still not coming. The solution did not get found. And at one point, the Emperor reverses to realize that it's not the Emperor, that, you know, like it didn't achieve what it wanted to achieve. And that could be very tough, especially with the judgment call from the universe asking for some sort of higher energy here. And that's what I think we're all on the lookout for here, and to see if that could be found. Our King of Wands reverse brings up the Nine of Swords reversed. Wow. So I think that this one's like, don't fret over the feeling of energy not going how you want with love exactly, or feeling stupid about situations, or making stupid situations in love happen, or past situations especially. There's a lot of reversals here right now going on. There's a lot of deep things here, but I think that Nine of Swords is saying, like, let's just let go of the anxieties. Let's let go of the things that we're worried about because we might feel stupid, whether it's our image or whether it's just that whole vibration of, oh God, I don't want it to go that way. I feel like that's just something that, you know, comes with life, but it's nothing stupid to fret on. I think that overall this is saying, hey, there's a lot of things that are not looking the way that we want it to look, but there's a higher calling, and there is Wheel of Fortune. There's fortune, but it's whether or not we're going to step into that higher calling within ourselves, and we're going to rise to that calling and not be stupid about things, and not create a higher calling when one's not there, and not miss out on the higher calling when we see that one's there. From Control, our overall spiritual card that we got here is the Black Moon Lilith, the mystery card. Wow, we are going deep into the mysteries of our desires, our wants, and our and really our feminine shadow energy of, like, you know, I always say, you know, Lilith will do coke at her own grandma's wedding, you know, or birthday, or funeral. You know, what's our deep real needs that we want? Our shadows are coming out, and they're coming into play here. And so if you're not getting exactly what you want in that sense, like, it's not going to be a good week. And I think that we're getting into the bottom of that. I feel a lot of energy of where our attraction goes, and if it's really there or not, or if energy is, you know, people can see energy the same way, right? There's that look when you look at somebody, and when you're in a car, or when you're just even all the way across a long field at a festival, and you look in their eye and you just know, oh, I see the shadow within you. I see the truth within you. I see that. And I think that we're all looking for that kind of energy, and not having to play this kind of mind game or control game or dominance game. This is not working anymore. Our sexy time card here is, well, we got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So, you know, it's you know, definitely energies in that realm on a pattern or on a schedule are not going to work. You know, it's like we kind of have to, things that are off the cuff are going to feel what's right. Things that feel like that are out of nowhere are off the cuff are the best way to go. But I also think that, you know, there's this kind of like going into areas that we're not feeling that we're the most talented or skilled at. We might even feel a little like we don't have the best way to understand how to be in new areas or different areas, or trying new things in that space. But there's a lot of deep mystery that's pulling us into something. And I think that's going to be the way for us to follow this week. Our Astro dice that we got here. Oh man, really. This is not the night to lose the shit.
Yeah, because in these moments of time, you almost have to embrace the moment. You know, you have to embrace just the every second, every minute that you're spending with yourself, and that you're spending with those individuals that you're actually giving your time to. Not necessarily trying to force the situations if they're not working out, but say, okay, maybe they're going through an issue as well, you know, and appreciating that and seeing all the demons and seeing all the pain that we're all kind of going through, all the issues that we're working through, you know, and just kind of embracing the moment and appreciating that moment that you're able to spend with them.
Yeah, because I think we're all going through a lot of really weird shit. Really weird. We got Pluto in the 5th house of Leo. Oh, shit. So we're getting to the deep well of our true changes we need to make of our heart. We got to, you know, this is also the death of a heart. This is the end of a heart and the new beginning of a heart, a rebirth of a heart here and our true happiness. But it comes to expression. The expression of the heart, the expression of who you are. And if you're not able to do that, or somebody's not able to do that, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to connect without that childlike expression, right? Like, that'd be like a 5th grader going out with like an 8th grader that's like in, you know, ASVAB or something. If you don't know what that is, like, you know, like smart kids class. You know, it's like, let's go play handball. No, let's go do homework. It's like, what? So, you know, this is definitely kind of energy like that.